You're paying for fertilizer while hauling your best fertilizer to the curb. In zones 7 to 10, a single 3 by 3 by 3 foot leaf cage turns into about 0.5 cubic yard of finished material in 12 to 18 weeks. That covers roughly 100 square feet at 1.5 inches, and it routinely gives 1.5 to 2x spring yields over unfed beds, especially greens and roots. Those are free numbers you can use, or you can keep buying bags that don't fix your soil. The problem isn't you, it's the system you were taught. You were taught to buy NPK and throw away carbon. You were taught to rake, bag, or burn leaves, then wonder why your beds dry out, compact, and stall. You were taught to fear manure, so you bought slow-release pellets instead of using the safest nitrogen you can make at home.
Here's the system that replaces all that and why it works. 1. Leaf intake. Most people drag leaves to the street or burn them. You're going to shred and cage them on site in fall. Run them through a mower, string trimmer in a bin, or just crunch them up by foot. More surface area means faster biology. Shredded leaves knit together but still let air move. Build or place a simple cage about 3 by 3 by 3 feet right where you can water it. Wire, pallets, or anything with airflow. Keep it off bare lawn if you can, so you don't lose finds.
Why this works? Leaves are carbon. Microbes eat carbon as energy, but they need nitrogen to build bodies. Whole leaves break down slowly because their surface is sealed with waxes and they mat. Shredding breaks that seal and multiplies contact points for fungi and bacteria. Caging keeps your carbon on site instead of losing it to a windstorm or the burn pile. 2. Rabbit manure capture. Most folks compost rabbit manure separately, dilute it, or hose it away. You're going to layer fresh pellets between leaves. Rabbit manure averages about 2:1:1 NPK. It's cold, meaning it won't burn roots. It's dense, easy to handle, and lands in tidy pellets. Every time you clean a tray, scatter a layer of pellets into the leaf cage. Don't bury a heavy layer all at once. Aim for balance across the stack.
Why this works. Shredded leaves are high carbon. Rabbit pellets are nitrogen-rich but gentle. Mixed together at 3:1 leaves to manure by volume, you land near a 30:1 carbon to nitrogen ratio. That's the sweet spot, where microbes multiply fast without stealing nitrogen from your beds later. You're literally building living fertilizer that releases steadily as biology cycles. 3. Layering stack. Most piles become thick mats or soupy mixes that go anaerobic. You're going to build a breathable layer cake. Do 4 to 6 inch layers of shredded leaves, then a thin, even scattering of rabbit pellets, then a quick soil sprinkle, a handful or two of your garden soil per layer. Repeat, 4 to 6 inches leaves, light manure scatter, soil sprinkle. Keep stacking to fill the cage. Why this works. The layer thickness keeps airways open while holding moisture. The soil sprinkle seats the pile with native microbes and minerals, and the grit prevents leaves from gluing into a slick. You're setting up a fungal first process, leaf mold, not hot compost. Fungi thread through leaf layers, unlock nutrients, and build stable humus. The manure provides steady nitrogen to fuel that biology without overheating or off-gassing. 4. Moisture and cover. Most piles are left uncovered to dry out or sealed under a tarp and suffocate. You're going for wrung-sponge moisture with a breathable cover. Water each lift as you build until the leaves feel like a wrung-out sponge. Not dripping, not dusty. Cover the cage with something breathable so air moves but rain doesn't pound a pile to mush. Think keeps it shaded and sheltered rather than airtight. Check weekly. If a handful squeezed hard doesn't glisten, water lightly. If it drips, lift the cover and let it breathe. Why this works? Microbes need oxygen and moisture at the same time. Too dry and everything stalls. Too wet and oxygen disappears and you get sour, smelly losses. A breathable cover buffers swings, slows evaporation, and prevents nutrients from washing out. You're keeping nitrogen in the system and giving fungi the consistent conditions they need to colonize the stack. Timing reality. In zones từ 7 đến 10, with good moisture and air, this leaf mold plus manure stack is ready in từ 12 đến 18 weeks. That's fall to spring. You're not waiting a year. Colder zones từ 5 đến 6, expect more like từ 18 đến 24 weeks. Shred finer, dild in fall and insulate the sides. Freeze-thaw still helps. Hotter, drier edges of zone từ 9 đến 10. Moisture is the limiting factor. Shade the cage and check twice a week. If it dries, biology pauses. Keep it sponge moist and it moves fast. 5. Spring use. Most gardeners till all that goodness deep or try to plant into raw material. You're going to top dress tumot din high inches and lightly rake it in. When the leaf mold smells earthy and crumbles with visible threads of white fungi, it's ready. Expect roughly 0.5 cubic yard from a 3 by 3 by 3 cage that covers about 100 square feet at 1.5 inches. Spread 1 to 2 inches over your beds. Lightly rake to settle it into the top inch. Don't till it down. Plant into or through it. Why this works? Roots feed in the top few inches where oxygen is highest. Top dressing puts nutrients and biology exactly there. Fungal-rich leaf mold keeps soil aggregates glued, so water moves in and stays, and the surface doesn't crust. You protect soil from sun and pounding rain. Keep weeds down and feed the system without shocking it. Rabbit manure's cold nitrogen continues releasing through spring, right where roots can use it. Why this whole system beats store-bought. Fertilizer gives a spike of NPK, but doesn't build the factory that makes nutrients season after season. Leaf mold builds that factory. Fungi and bacteria trade nutrients to roots in exchange for sugars. Worms follow fungi into the bed, shred residues, and cast minerals into plant-available forms. Structure improves, so oxygen and water are where they should be. That's why you see 1.5 to 2x yields on greens and roots without chasing numbers on a bag. Let's talk numbers so you can plan. Mix about 3 to 1 shredded leaves to rabbit manure by volume. That's roughly a 30 to 1 C to N. Close enough is fine. A 3 by 3 by 3 foot cage yields about 0.5 cubic yard finished. That top dress is about 100 square feet at 1.5 inches. In zones 7 to 10, it's ready in 12 to 18 weeks if kept sponge moist and aerated. Rabbit manure averages 211 NPK. It's safe cold nitrogen for fall layering. Expect 1.5 to 2x spring yields versus unfed beds, especially for lettuce, spinach, beets, carrots, and other greens and roots. Now, the loop that keeps paying you back. Healthier soil, more biomass, more rabbit feed, and more leaves, bigger fall inputs. Your garden grows more, your trees drop more, and your rabbits eat better, which gives you more pellets. Every turn increases next fall's pile without new purchases. Leaf mold holds moisture, less stress, larger plants, more trimmings return to the pile. Plants under less water stress photosynthesize more, make more roots, and give you more prunings and spent crops to shred in with leaves next fall. Fungal beds prosper, more worms, faster breakdown, earlier spring nutrition. Worms and microarthropods amplify the system by taking fungal-rich leaf mold and turning it into casts. That pushes nutrients into the early spring root zone faster, so you harvest sooner. That's the self-reinforcing loop. You're not feeding plants, you're building a cycle. Common mistakes to avoid: thick mats or soupy mixes. Keep to 3 to 4 inch leaf lifts, light manure, and a soil sprinkle. If it smells sour, fluff and add dry shredded leaves. Seal tarps. You want breathable cover. Don't suffocate the pile. Raw planting. Don't bury this. Top dress 1 to 2 inches and rake lightly. Let roots meet biology where it lives. How to start this week. Capture leaves. Stop hauling them away. Shred them and cage them. Layer pellets. Every rabbit tray cleanout goes into the leaf cage in thin, even scatters. Layering stack. Build 2 to 6 inch lifts of leaves, light manure, soil sprinkle. Repeat to fill. Moisture and cover. Water to wrung-sponge. Cover with something breathable. Check weekly. Spring use. In 12 to 18 weeks, top dress 1 to 2 inches and lightly rake. Plant. If you're in a colder zone, just start now and give it more time. If you're hotter and dry, shade and water are your levers. The biology is the same. You don't need to buy fertility. You need to stop throwing it away. Capture leaves, layer pellets, cover, wait. Build fungal soil. Buy less, harvest more.